1990 সাল থেকে প্রাইম এক্সপ্রেস অগণিত হজ ও উমরা যাত্রীদের দিয়ে আসছে সর্বোচ্চ মানের সেবা। প্রাইম এক্সপ্রেস নর্থ অফ ইংল্যান্ডের একমাত্র বাঙালি সৌদি মিনিস্ট্রির উমরা অ্যাপ্রুভ ট্রাভেল এজেন্ট। আপনার যে কোনো এয়ারলাইন্সের টিকিটের জন্য প্রাইম এক্সপ্রেসে যোগাযোগ করুন। প্রাইম এক্সপ্রেস বিমান সহ সৌদি, টার্কিশ ও রয়্যাল জর্ডানিয়ান এয়ারলাইন্সের অ্যাপ্রুভ টিকিট এজেন্ট। আয়েটা ও এটুল প্রোটেক্টেড। প্রাইম এক্সপ্রেস আপনার বিশ্বস্ত ট্রাভেল এজেন্ট। চেডারটন ওয়ে, ওল্ডহাম।
সোনার বাংলা কনসার্ট 2018 30 অক্টোবর মঙ্গলবার। সঙ্গীত পরিবেশন করবেন বাংলাদেশের জনপ্রিয় কণ্ঠশিল্পী সালমা। স্থান ইস্টার্ন প্যাভিলিয়ন, ওল্ডহাম। সময় রাত 11টায়। টিকিট বুকিং চলছে।
ওল্ডহাম ইস্টার্ন প্যাভিলিয়ন সোনার বাংলা কনসার্টে আমি সালমা সবাইকে আনন্দ দিতে চলে আসতেছি। আপনারা সবাই আসবেন কিন্তু।
টিকিট বুকিং চলছে।
সূর্য গেলে চন্দ্র আসে অন্ধকারে।
আপনি কি
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, adab, good evening, and welcome to Sa and Ta with DJ Sam. আশা করি আপনারা ভালো আছেন। আমরাও মোটামুটি ভালো আছি। কিছু টেম্পারেচার বদলায় নিয়ে হয়তো কিছু সর্দির ভাব আইছে, so do excuse me if I do the odd cough here and the sniffle there. আজকে আমরা সাথে আছেন দুইজন বিশিষ্ট গেস্ট। পয়লা অবস্থায় আপনার সাথে আমি পরিচয় হইলে দিই। আমার ডাইন সাইডে হইতাম বা আমরা কমিউনিটির একজন গুড লাইক বড় কষ্ট হরণ তাই আমরা কমিউনিটির লাগি প্লাস থানের একটা ট্রেনিং একাডেমি আছে যার নাম নিও ট্রেনিং। তো আমার পয়লা অবস্থায় আমার পয়লা গেস্ট আমি ইন্ট্রোডিউস করি লাই জনাব লতিফ মিয়া। তাই অনেক দূর থেকে আইসন, অল দ্য ওয়ে ফ্রম স্কানথোর্প। আসসালামু আলাইকুম লতিফ।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম, থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ।
ভালো আছেন?
থ্যাংক ইউ।
কিতা হাল অবস্থা?
খুব ভালো। কিছু ঠান্ডা আসলো আজকে, তবে মোটামুটি এখন ভালো আছে।
আপনারা কিতা খাসি আর সর্দি ধরছিনি?
না, এখনো ধরছে না।
ডোন্ট ওয়ারি, ধরি লিব।
Right, we'll deal with that later. This is where the bacteria comes in.
Yeah, fantastic. It's a great thing because we're on topic today. আর আমার বাম পাশে একজন কমিউনিটি অ্যাক্টিভিস্ট, অনেক দিন ধরে তাই মানে খুব কষ্ট হওয়া কমিউনিটির সাথে, স্পেশালি আমরা মহিলাদের জন্য। আর I'm very proud to introduce you to my niece, Rosie Choudhury. Assalamu alaikum, Rosie. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
How do you feel?
I feel great, alhamdulillah.
Yeah. So, আপনারা ফাঁকিদি হইলাই যে she's going to be my co-pilot, আমার co-presenter, my partner in crime on the screen for the next upcoming few programs. আর আশা করি আগামীতে তানের মানে মহিলা বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান হল লইয়াই বা মহিলা গেস্ট হল সহ। আর hopefully, she'll be talking about various different issues ranging from health, mental health, the community in general. অনেক issue হল আছে, হয়তো আমরা language barrier বা access to facilities and services. তো ওগুলো আপনারা থাকবা আমরা লগে আর আরো দেখতে থাকবা, and at the same time আমরাও ট্রাই করবো। সো আর বেশি দেরি না হইয়া আজকের টপিক সম্বন্ধে কিছু আলাপ করি। তো আজকের টপিক হইছে গিয়া আমরা আর হেলথ অ্যান্ড সেফটি কমার্শিয়াল ক্যাপাসিটিতে এখানে অত্যন্ত জরুরি। তো এটার লাগে আসলে খুব ভাগ্য আমরা বালা আমরা লতিফ ভাই আইসন। সো হি ইজ গোনা টক অ্যাবাউট দিস ইস্যুস। সো লতিফ ভাই, আমরা তো সাধারণত মানে সাধারণ জ্ঞানে যেটা দেয় আর কি, কমন সেন্স যেটা হয়, কমন সেন্সে আমরা হয় যে যে কোনো জিনিস আমরা যে সময় ফাঁক করবার আগে আমরা তৈরি করি, প্রিপারেশন করি, এত তো আমরা মানে usually we just take the normal precautions. For example, vegetables যে সময় আলু সুলাইয়া পানির ভিজাইয়া তারপর খাটি গোস মুরগ মাছ মোটামুটি সেমও আমরা প্রিপেয়ার করি তো আমরা যে গরো যে লাহান আমরা প্রিপেয়ার করি আর কমার্শিয়ালি ফর এক্সাম্পল আমরা রেস্টুরেন্টও বা ক্যাফে যে লাহান আমরা প্রিপেয়ার করি এটার মাঝে অত পার্থক্য এখানে
Well, thank you very much. It's a really interesting question. কারণ হইল যে গরম মাঝে তো আপনি বলছেন আপনার পরিবার রেখা পাইবা ফ্যামিলি রেখা পাইবা সো দ্য রিস্ক ফ্যাক্টর হইল আপনার পরিবারে যদি ফুড পয়জনিং করিলে নাকি সরকার দায়ী নাই okay although nobody on purposely will do that but therefore on a commercial basis because you're bound by law এর লাগে গাড়ি আপনি এটারে মানে খুব heavily protection দেওয়া লাগবে so that is where the difference is obviously we're not bound by law within the house but within the commercial premises you're definitely bound by law so it is a matter of law in that sense
okay so যারা মানে হয়তো আমরা গরো যারা বুইয়া দেখরা হয়তো নাও বুঝতে পারেন ব্যাপারটা তো এই কথাটা মানে হওয়ার কারণ হয়েছে কি I'm just instigating the question I'm trying to sort of fish out the answers so essentially monoruka I've got my niece on my left side and it's not a sexist comment mind you don't get me wrong guys and girls out there but usually I'm not better into cooking kori nowadays things have changed like we all take a fair amount of responsibility but majority আমরা মহিলা যারা আসুন করো তারা সাধারণত ফাঁসা করো I know my niece is a bit particular she's she overdoes things at times but I'd like to know on a domestic scale let's say for example you're cooking a meat curry okay with potatoes just to keep it nice and simple তারপরে ওনা মনে করো যে আমি আইডাম with my family Latif Miah আইডা with his family so তরকারির লগে ভাত হইতিব ভাতের লগে সালাদ হইতিব so how do you go about preparing your meat and veg
Before I cook it.
yeah
In my household I have 2 separate chopping board for the poultry
okay
and then I have another chopping board and separate knives for salad
all right
and for vegetables.
see folks I told you she's
keep
particular
it, it has to be I'm not I keep it clean safety and is healthy and I feel comfortable and my children they adopted my style as well and they love it and it's safe I don't have to worry keep when you handle raw meat I'd have to worry rinsing it and just move on just wash my hands and move on to the next chopping board
right
so I just prepare myself
so in other words what you're saying is যে বোর্ডের মাঝে গুস খাটা হয় এই বোর্ডের মাঝে আলু খাটা হয় না
no
আর ও সমান বোর্ডও আবার সালাদও খাটা হয় না so you don't do your cucumbers tomatoes onions and lettuce on it
no I have separate chopping board
right
well for the raw meat and poultry one chopping board and then separate knives and I have for the vegetables and the salad
okay
just one chopping board and the separate knife so it's easy for me I just move on to the next one that's easy. I think it's easier and then it's more safe and hygiene don't have to worry about rinsing washing my hands
thanks for that before I carry on further I've got a really good point to ask Latif Miah following on from Rosie's method I'll just quickly acknowledge our viewers thank you guys for watching এক নম্বর জিনিস হইছে কি আপনারা যদি কোনো বিস্তারিত কোনো কোয়েশ্চন থাকে any particular questions by all means please do pop it in the comments আরও জিনিস হইছে কি আপনারা লাইক দেউকা বুড়ি আঙ্গুল বেজান দেউকা আর আপনারা শেয়ার করুকা শেয়ার করলে এটা খুব একটা অত্যন্ত জরুরি একটা বিষয় নিয়ে আজকে আমরা বুঝছি আর একজন বিশেষজ্ঞ আমরা আসলে পাইকর গুণে পাইছি and let's take advantage of the knowledge that is available to us so আপনারা শেয়ার করুকা because I know for a fact everyone that is in the catering industry which is quite a big number আপনারা থারারও দেখবার সুযোগ দেউকা আপনারা just hit the share button and let your friends get into it So going back to, yes, just quickly doing a shout out. Let's see, we've got Angur Miah watching. He's got a couple of laugh emojis. Good. It's great to know that, we're making you laugh, bringing a smile. We've got Lenny Sai from Rochdale. Salam, Lenny. We've got Mohammed Ahmed Junaid, our CEO. He's watching. He's keeping a keen eye on me, making sure that I'm not doing any party pooping. We've also got Mohammed Mahmoud, my Batiza. Thank you, Batiza, for joining. We've got Makozi. I believe he lives somewhere in the Midlands. Rosie Choudhury is watching. Thank you guys for joining us. And like I said, hit the like button, give us a bit of encouragement. Put your questions in the comments. Let's take advantage of the knowledge we have present with us. And at the same time, let's carry on with the topic. আমরা একটু মানে এটার খুঁড়িয়া দেখি কিছু বুঝতাম নি পারি তার ফাঁকে জহির রায়হান জুয়েল. It's a mouthful, that one, bro. I'll call you Jewel. Is that all right? He's saying very important topic. Absolutely, I totally agree with you. For Hulusana Huida, new training is really working hard for our communities. Thank you very much, Mr. Latif Miah.
Thank you.
Yes, he's acknowledging, he's not acknowledging. So, moving on. So, একটা জিনিস আছে না যখন আমরা ছোট যখন আসলাম, when we were kids, there was a 6-second rule. Monohoroka, I'm like, I'm enjoying a lollipop, for example, and then I just coughed out of random, oops, and it fell down on the floor. So I have to pick that lollipop up before the 6 seconds is over, and then just sort of wipe it on my trouser or whatever, and then resume. Itan maze ekta myth ase nani. You've heard the myth.
Absolutely.
The 6-second rule monohoroka one after toast ase wala, for example, or cheese and onion pasty. I don't know. I'm just picking ideas from there. One after atike for it's like you haven't got another sandwich handy or another toast handy or another pasty handy, and it's fallen, and you look left and right. No one's noticed it. You pick it up, you blow it off, and it's like, yeah, continue eating. Is that good or bad?
It's absolutely, nothing exists of that nature. Never mind the 6-second rule. As soon as you drop it, any food
It's
item,
a no-go.
it's a no-go zone. But interestingly, the chopping board of 2, I really find that astonishing. In a way, I am surprised in a sense, because I find it sometimes difficult to even go into restaurants and takeaways and with separate boards. You're doing it at home. That is a really good example. And I think a lot of the domestic kitchens are moving towards that way. Now, when I go out shopping into the local superstores, and I can see now they've got coloured boards now. So we are encouraging domestic people to actually start using colour coding as well. I mean, that is one really fantastic way of doing it. The reason, as I said, what you said about you're putting your chicken on one board, meat on one board, that's really good. It's the timing in the commercial side. We're on a timer. We're on a timer. Although a lot of people within the domestic will get a lot of food poisoning, it's never recorded. Even at the commercial level, it's never recorded. People don't actually go because you'll get stomach pain. You don't even realise they got some kind of a bug or something like that.
Food related.
Yeah, it'll be food related. There's so many, there's millions and millions of happening, but it's really underrated and it's not recorded. So yes, at home there is, you have got a short period, but we still have to go on the timing that will be going. We'll discuss the timing a bit later on. From a domestic point of view, that is really fantastic. I really like the idea. And I think a lot of people at home, if you can start following this lady here, it is really a good idea, because you are cross-contaminating. We're going to talk about cross-contamination a bit later on. For domestic purpose, it's going to be slightly difficult to understand what is cross-contamination and all that. But for people with the commercial industry, you'll understand where the cross-contamination is coming in from. So I'm sure Ejaba will get into a bit more detail into that one.
I'm just going to touch on that and basically say that অনেক মানুষ আসুন মানে অনেক মানুষ হল আসুন যারা মানে রেস্টুরেন্ট বা কেটারিং ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে কাম করেন. Obviously, it's a mandatory thing. correct me if I'm wrong, is it level 2 you need minimum?
Actually, that's a really key issue. I mean, I've been debating about that. Now, I've been watching, because it's my industry, I mean, I've done a lot of research and I watch a lot of TV programs, because there's so much on at the minute now, because there's so many changes happening within the law, general law, and then within the food law. We got a misconception about this, I think. Particularly our Asian restaurants, particularly narrowing it down to the Bangladeshi restaurant. Yes, level 2 is the bare minimum. It's okay, but my argument is that when we set up the level 2 questionnaires are designed. So you need a supervisor on top of it. So every question is designed in such a way that an example would be, if you see a rat, what do you do? Now, we've got 4 answers.
Scream and run.
Yeah. One of them will be scream and run. 2 would be to kill it. 3 would be to call the supervisor. 4, the pest control. Now, the answer is, I'll tell you that, the answer is the contact the supervisor. So we're assuming, the level 2 is, we're assuming that there is somebody above at a level 3 or a level 4. Generally, what we find, or what I find in my times of visiting places, is that vast majority, I can put a number on it, but I dare put a number on, vast majority are on a level 2. And a level 2, for me, is not good enough, or not for anybody. The law is very lenient how they put it down, unfortunately. I know people from a catering side will say, well, it is good because we're dropping the standard. But the reason, from a training point of view, it is really, really basic, and it's really common sense. I believe that, and this is what's going to happen in the very near future, I believe that all supervisors, and it's happening at a, not a very, because we're really micro businesses, we're under 9 people, some of them are 5, but we really need to encourage people to move up to a level up, at least to a level 3, at least to a supervisory standard. And there are some issues regarding, where you're obtaining the training from as well, because as you can understand, the world of internet, you can just pick up, you could do a degree, online now. But what you got to understand is there is a difference between, if we go back to some of the universities, so let's look at some of the world-class universities, Oxford, Cambridge, and you compare it with somewhere like Hull or something like that. The credibility, this is where it belongs. There is that. You've got to really understand that. So yeah, online, yes, it's totally legal. It's absolutely fine. Training providers is absolutely fine. But you've got to really find somewhere that you want to learn as well. And also, if you are getting your staff, you want them to learn at the same time as well with a credible organization. So this is where I say. So going back to your question again, level 2, from where I'm standing, it's a no-no zone. But for general stuff, it's okay.
আমি ওটার মাঝে আমি ও কারণে আমি লেভেল 2 কথা কইছি লাগা অনেক জায়গাতে আছে অনেক জায়গাতে আমি আমার দেখা যে অনেক জায়গা তারা মিনিমাম তারা লেভেল 2 পর্যন্ত ট্রেনিং করে আর আপনি যে সুপারভাইজারের কথা কইছেন আর কি সুপারভাইজার হইছেন কি সাধারণত মনে করেন শেফ So usually, like আমি কিছু chef সকল দেখছি তারা level 3 কোনো chef সকল I admire them to the point where অনেক সময় আছে যে আমরা স্টাফ যারা আছো তারা নিকনেম একটা ফেলাই দেন Mr. Hygiene.
It's a good nickname.
Yeah, Mr. Hygiene. Basically, he has খমরের মাঝে এক সাইডে দি তাই antibacterial spray আর আরেক সাইডে দি হইছে ব্রু রোল অফ টিস্যু. So zabaide zaiba tain zatu horonna hene hotana forever squirt wipe wipe. So under to come to understanding of zaimu ita shumonde. I'll just read a couple of comments out. Unfortunately, I can't see all the comments. However, the ones I can see, my partner in crime, Islamuddin, he goes, Salam ije bhai. Nice and interesting topic for everyone to know in our daily life routine. True. We've got Aminullah Khan. He's saying hello. Can we all say hello back to Aminullah Khan? Hello. Amda Maulana Fakhrul Islam is watching. Assalamu alaikum Maulana Shab. Thank you for joining us, sir. He's a regular viewer, a fantastic guy. he's doing it again. Johir Raihan Jewel. তাই কইরা আমরা লন্ডন থেকে দেখছি আপনারা সিলেটি ভাষায় কথা বলেন. And I can't read the rest for some odd reason. It's not showing up. Anyway, আমরা চেষ্টা করি ভাই সাহেব, আমরা চেষ্টা করি আমরা নিজের ভাষায় মারতাম. কারণ হইছে কি আমরা অধিকাংশ ভিউয়ার যারা আছেন তারাও আমরা মাতৃভাষা সিলেট আঞ্চলিক ভাষায় তারা বুঝুন, যার কারণে আমি মনে করি যে সব চাইতে বেস্ট হইছে কি আমরা যে ভাষা আমরা গৌরব ইউজ করি আমরা বাচ্চা জানতেও তারা বুঝতে করি. And English আখতা মারি আমরা মানে আমরা শোর ব্র্যান্ড হইছে কি বাংলিশ, আধা বাংলা আধা ইংলিশ, বাংলিশ. So that's the brand I'm promoting. We've got Husna N. Ahmed. She's put a smiley love face. Thank you, that's very sweet of you. We've also got Rubel Ahmed and Azwad Khan Bundu is watching. We've also got Sadiq Ahmed is watching as well. Thank you guys for joining us. So, Araftugo Groshori. Talking about domestic, there's a couple of things that I would love to, like discuss about. After speaking to you a while back, it was quite a few weeks ago actually, after because of the studio move and other programs, আমরা প্ল্যান করছিলাম, আমরা ফিট করতাম পারছি না. আগামী বছর আরো নতুন নতুন মানে রুলস হল বানাইল, আর এটার মানে হইছে কি মানে আরো একটু স্ট্রিনজেন্ট বা কঠিন হইল. সো বর্তমানে নানি একটা মেজারমেন্ট আছে বা এক মাপে মানুষটা একটা যাচাই করা যায়. ফর এক্সাম্পল ফুড হাইজিন রেটিং বর্তমানে আছে 0 থেকে 5. গ্রিন স্টিকার যেটা আপনারা ব্যবসার দরজার সামনে লাগানি হয়, 0 হইছে গিয়া একেবারে যায় অবস্থা, মানে আর জায়গা যদি টাকা না খাইবার, দ্যাটস ইয়োর লাস্ট প্লেস অফ কল. আর 5 যারা আছে নানি তারা মানে অত্যন্ত লক্ষ্য করে খানি তৈরি করাত, খানি পরিবেশন করাত, খানির টেস্টের মধ্যে তারা মানে অনেকটা প্রাইড থাকে. সো would you like to tell us about,
I will actually, yeah.
About that?
It's absolutely critical we understand. I mean, law on any subject, on any matter, is always going to be changing, and particularly with Brexit coming, we all know we're expecting a lot of changes. Particularly with the food sector, we've got, I mean, particularly Amrar Bangladesh's restaurant, we've got multitude of problems. And I don't want to bombard with them another issue, but I don't want to spoil it for everybody. But I've got no choice in a sense that it's called Regulating Our Future. Actually, one of the paperwork was just released today, this morning, before I come on show. Wow. And it's been going on for a year. And what's going to happen is it's just the system we got in place is so old. It's very, very old. When I look at it, under the Safer Food, Better Business Pack. That came in 2006.
Yeah.
2006, so you can say. And what they've done is the FSA, which is the Food Standard Agency, what they've done is they've put the small businesses into one category. Everybody in one category. They want to look at restaurant, takeaways, also cafes. So cafe, now this is where the issue was, you see. Cafe, very low risk, probably making a sandwich and maybe a cake, and it's chilled.
Yeah, chilled.
And then you compare that with your restaurant, if you've got one, and you've got hot food, cold food, chilled food. You've got so many issues here. Now, in real terms, in real time as well, you can't compare a sandwich shop with a restaurant. Well, that's what's been happening over the years, and many of industry experts never agreed with it, but the expert could never come to an agreement how they could do that, because it's so complex issue. Because it came from HACCP, the HACCP terminology we use in the industry, which is Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point. It's a mouthful, but we made it quite simple with the Safer Food, Better Business. So the ROF, which is Regulating Our Future, it's targeted for 2020. Now, I've actually I'm looking at like a campaign, because I think, because I've been in the industry for 20, 30 years, maybe more. Wow. Right, okay. And and I've always got
That's
a vast
given
interest.
out his age now.
I've always had a a lot of interest in how we do things, and just recently I've taken a bit more research into it. Like, why is it happening? I mean, I did a piece of research 2 years ago, and I thought maybe it's because of just with the Asian people I did it with. Maybe I thought maybe it's to do with education. Maybe because it could be resources, maybe it's money, or maybe it's just ignorance. Okay? The finding was that education didn't come into it,
No.
finance didn't come into it, ignorance was the biggest killer. So if the ignorant, and this is just my personal finding, then if you start doing more research and more research, there's thousands of research out there on food safety. We've got brilliant, systems in place and all over the world, because it's one of those things that, food is traveling so dramatically you won't even realize. So the safety measures got to be really dramatically correct. So
I'll just quickly butt in there, just quickly give a couple of acknowledgements to some folk watching. Guys, I must sincerely apologise. I'm having some signal difficulties here, and I'm not getting all the comments through. I'm sure there's loads of comments coming through, but unfortunately, for some odd reason, it's not appearing on my screen. So I'll just do my best and shout out. Muhammad Ashraf Ali is watching, Mashuk Ali is watching, Muhammad Shahzan, Assalamu alaikum guys, and thank you very much for joining us. Apnara comments okuldoka asker topic wisi gamdar. Food safety, food hygiene, and the new legislations that are coming in the next year. Why is it so important? So, sorry, Latif Bhai, apne khwat asla.
আমি ওখানে কথা আসলাম যে আমরা একটু সময় লাগে and what I said, but I tell you, so ignorance is one of the key issues আছে that জিনিসটা হলো যে we'll do it. We'll deal with it. Some of them was, I think I discussed that.
Is that actually a part of? Would you actually sort of lean towards a cultural thing?
It's not just a link. There is a direct link. There's a guy. I'm going to track off now with culture, because culture is. This is where we're going to move into now, because culture is very critical at the minute now, how we identified it, because culture was recognized. See, we went through this phase in the health and safety. Now, when we was in health and safety, we brought in trainers, we did lots of training, in-house training, outdoor training, whatever. We tried so many things. And then what it boiled down to, and then, last good few years ago, what they boiled it down to, oh no, it's all down to culture. That's all it was. It was just culture of that particular place. So you got a corporate culture, then you got a safety culture, and then when we talk about in the food industry, you got a food safety culture. So now you got a couple of culture, and then you narrow it down. Then we got Asian culture. Then you narrow it down. Then you got Bangladeshi, and you can keep narrowing it down and right to the T. So it is at the minute now. Most of the training. I'll come to the training. Most of the training is going to be culture based. We've not a lot of the trainers. They're not really caught up with it yet, because it's not something that has been explored, particularly in the Asian industry. But in the larger industry, particularly when we look at the manufacturers, I've got quite a bit of background in manufacturers, so we have to really keep up to date with most of the legislation and good practice, because legislation is not really doing any good. It's about really having good practices in place. So just going off track. So I'll come back to culture in a minute. I'm just going back to that particular piece of a report where I said, well, was it money? Was it this? Was it that? And we found that ignorance was an issue, and that ignorance again was related to culture. Now, Food Standard Agency again. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep on about bombarding with lots of research, but that's what it is.
It's fine, because you're backing what you're saying.
So again, what they did was in 2013. They did a study again, and they identified a similar issue. So then we've kind of come up with a matrix. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, and it's like a ladder where you are, and it just identifies where you are on the steps. So usually, I think when I do some training, I usually just ask them, if I show them this piece of paper and it's got 5 steps in it, and just say, would you tell me where do you think you are? You have to be honest with yourself, because you're going to be cheating yourself. So just be honest with yourself where you are. And we find that most of them are compliant. They're okay. But most of them are waiting for the inspection to happen. They know exactly what to do. They know exactly what is wrong, but they're waiting for the inspection. And they're waiting for the anaya hoilo bhai tomar order khasra. You know that. They will change it. So when we want to really move forward to being a bit more proactive, this is what we're trying to say. If it needs to be done, just do it. Just do it.
It's, to be honest with you, it's more into common sense area, isn't it? মনে হইলে দেখা যে আপনার নিজের একটা জিনিস, let's say for example, অনেক দিন আগে আর কি আমি মানে বাংলাদেশের একটা hygiene ভিডিও একটা করছি. It was a short video. এই ভিডিওর মাঝে দেখাইছে যে একটা ব্যক্তি বাইসাইকেল চালাইয়া মানে গাঁয়ের রাস্তার মাঝে বাইসাইকেল চালাইয়া যার, তখন রাস্তা চালাইয়া যাওয়ার পরে it's about sanitary, you know how insanitary the whole system is. You know, he needed a number 2. So rastar side দিয়ে তার number 2 সাইডিয়া is he washed his hands, তার গামছা আছে, গামছা দিয়ে হাত ফুসিয়া on his bike he রানা দিছে. আইয়া মানুষের লাগে দেখইছে রাস্তার মাঝে হাত মিলাইছে, বুক মিলাইছে, as we do. And then তার লাস্ট স্টপ হইছে গিয়া ছোট একটা শ্বাসটল খাস করে অন্য গিয়া পরোটা বানার এক্সেট্রা, তার হাত দিয়ে বানার, তারপর এইদিকে গরমে ও সমান গামছা দিয়ে তার গাম মুছের, আর ও গামছা দিয়া খানার উপরে দিয়ে মাসি করেন. সো এই ভিডিও করার মতলবটা হয়েছে কি যে as we're progressing, আমরা জাতি হিসাবে যখন মানে ধীরে ধীরে অগ্রসর হইলাম, তখন আমরা মানে একটা জিনিস মানে মেহসুস করতাম পারি, রিয়েলাইজ করতাম পারি যে আজকাল যারা নানি মনে হয় আমরা গাঁও এলাকা থেকে আমরা শহরে গেছি, কিছু লেখাপড়া হয়েছে, আমরা বিভিন্ন অনুষ্ঠান হল দেখলাম টেলিভিশনও, মানে দুনিয়ায় কীভাবে চলে না চলে আমরা ইন্টারনেটের মাধ্যমে টেলিভিশনের মাধ্যমে দেখতাম পারতাম. আমরা এইগুলা সম্বন্ধে আমরা অনেকটা জ্ঞান অর্জন করতাম পারতাম. আর ও ভিডিওটা নানি এটা একটা মানে it was like a huge shock in the sense that wow, does this actually happen these days? আর point তারা একটা raise করতে হয়েছে যে সামান্য একটু লক্ষ্য যদি করুন you can avoid it. আর now I understand যে আমরা উদ্দেশ্য যে মানে আমরা ফুড হেলথ ইন্সপেক্টর অকল যে তারা অনেক সময় আয় যায় দোকান অকল তো আইয়া তারা স্পট চেক যে করাইল, আর স্পট চেক করার পরে তারা ও যে কইলা যে ও সাফ করমুনে, ইয়েস কিছু কালচারাল আছে, আচ্ছা করমুনে ওই মনে বা হাই উতা শিওর লাগিবা আজকেও আমি ফ্রেন্ডর ঘরে যাইতাম খাম বাদে, আচ্ছা হেলা কই দিয়া. It's more about laziness, really, isn't it? It's not directly cultural. খালি আমরা কালচারও তো শিখাইছে না যে তুমি এই খাসটা থাকো
না. কালচার বলতে আমার মানে ডিফারেন্ট কালচার, একটা আছে আমরা জেনারেল কালচার, আপনাদের একটা হলো অভ্যাস হলো, আর একটা হলো যে আমরা ফুডের যে একটা কালচার আছে. সো we made our own culture একটা আছে কি যে we got away with it from 30 বছর ধরে হইরা আমরা ভাই এখন তুমি হঠাৎ করে হইরা যে দোয়া লাগবো সয় বা these things we can prove it over and over again that there is things wrong there.
What are your thoughts on this?
I think I'm not of some people. Doesn't matter how much hygiene they handle, how much certificate they have, they can be disgusting. They can be unhygienic.
Yeah.
It's laziness.
Laziness.
Yes.
That's the kind of culture we're talking about. It's not the culture as in we're from Bangladesh, we're Bengali. Our culture is Bangladeshi. We're not talking about that culture.
No.
We're talking about I can't be bothered. I'll do it later
This phrase
on.
they say, bad habit die hard.
Ooh, yeah.
And অনেক মানুষ আছে সব কিছু জানে কিন্তু ওরা অভ্যাস খারাপ. Like I said, it doesn't matter how much hygiene they have.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I mean, the good news is vast majority of the people are on, got a 5-star.
Yeah.
It's a small, and it is a very small number,
Yeah.
but these small numbers can have a huge impact
Yeah.
as an industry as a whole. Just going back to where the ROF is coming in, where the regulating our future is coming in. All it's doing is at the minute now, as the law stands now, it's a 30-day rule where if you open a place up, ito mona hoile lege record ko ta kheu kena.
Yes. Water সম্বন্ধে আমি একটা second. Yes, sorry about
Yeah.
that. Do not move that thought from your head. I'm just going to quickly acknowledge a couple of guys. We've got Jackson Miah from Rochdale. Jackson Miah, fildo asuniwa. Bejan share koro, like koro. We've got Mohammed Hollander Talukdar.
Oh, right.
Assalamu alaikum, bro. He's a legend in his own right.
No, right.
You know, he's a legend. We've got Abdul Rob. Salam everyone. Wa alaikum salam. Very good topic. Thank you very much, bhai. Please share, and if you have any questions, by all means, we've got a specialist here. Let's drop him in a difficult position and see if he can, wiggle out of it. We've got Dilal Choudhury, Samira Begum, Dulal Miah. Oh, my poet, Asma Khatun. Assalamu alaikum, guys. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, the hate button, the love button, the laughing button, whichever button, just hit a button. And hit share as well.
All those emojis.
Yeah, use them. There's so many emojis. Don't put the brown ice cream emoji. That's not nice. Oh, you're laughing. It's not an ice cream, is it? Oh dear. Anyway, moving on. You were saying, it's coming towards how আমরা হেলথ ইন্সপেক্টর জালান হইলে আজ 30 দিনের নোটিস বা 30 দিনের সময় দেয় এই টাইমের মাঝে আপনি আপনার যে ব্যবসার মাঝে কোন জায়গাতে আপনার জিনিসপত্র রাখছেন is it in an appropriate place? For example, আপনার fryer আর খান্তা যদি ফ্রিজার রাখুন it's not right because the fryer is going to give off heat. Your freezer is trying to keep cold.
God,
the condenser is not going to
You've
work.
picked up something really critical. I think I was on I think it was just a few days ago. Another issue. I don't know if I've just keep going into places where lots of issues are, but luckily, the other thing I have identified, let's not call it an issue. The other thing I have identified is a design concept. Now, when one is looking into doing a catering business or food business, one of the critical things you want to look into is the design concept. The flow, how you're going to do that. I find that, again, in my personal experience, and I can't talk for everybody, but vast majority of the places I've been to, and some of them are really good, they've been tailor-made, the kitchen's been tailor-made particularly, and the restaurants are absolutely gold mine. But vast majority, again, the ones I've seen, I'm not going to go, that I've seen is that most of the kitchen is a kitchen, just like a domestic kitchen with a larger cooker and with a tandoor and a couple of equipments. And you start walking to double doors, a single door, or a swing door, and you walk in there, and you need sunglasses on. It's so beautifully done. It's absolutely mega. It's so absolutely fantastic. And I say, wow, what a beautiful place. Absolutely fantastic. As from a safety background, I find it difficult. But generally, you can get away with it. I said, all right, okay. Spent hundreds of thousands of pounds in there, and we start walking backwards in the kitchen. Now I find a used chiller, a used table, and stuff like that. Okay, there are financial issues as well. You can do that. But the issue I find is that, this is the mechanic, this is the engine room.
Yes.
This is where everything happens. This is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
And one need to invest a bit more money into the engine room, and then efficiency, sufficiency.
The output is good.
Yeah, you'll get a decent output. So it is about design. You got to look at a place and have kind of a uniform uniform direction or depending on how big it is. So design concept, we do tend to go wrong quite wrongly. Now that's also down to law, and we always kind of like fighting with the law because the law is again very vague. It's very
more
vague.
of a guide, really, isn't it?
You know, like if you go to Europe, there's a lot of, I'm not going to name it, in Europe, they are very, very strict in that. Regarding the new law coming in, they was going to actually make it licensable. They were going to say you need a license to open a restaurant. Now, from a training point of view, or from an educator from the safety background or any other background, we love it because it saves a lot of trouble. Because this particular person, they need to have certain standard of education, certain standard of education and certain standard of business knowledge, certain standard of food safety. So all the safety issues, they've got to have a certain standard. If they have that, then they'll give them be a license and then they'll be able to operate. Now guess what that would do to the standard? As an example, if you look at what's happening now with the starring system, it's not called star really, but
the food hygiene rating.
the rating system. You see, in Northern Ireland, it's compulsory to display it.
Yeah.
Okay. In Wales, it's compulsory. Now, what's happened is all the people involved in the catering, not just the catering, the food business, they've actually raised their standard. And some places have raised by 40%, some are 38%. So just by saying, well, look, you need to have that in place. So just imagine that if the law tomorrow says, look, you need to, whoever's going to do any business, you've got to have certain XXX amounts of standard, will automatically raise the standard. Now, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to do that. But FSA, they were actually thinking about doing that.
It's a fantastic point you raised because ইরকমভাবে যদি করে না নি মনে হলো যে মানুষের একটা সেফটি মানুষের মনের যে সন্দেহ এই সন্দেহটা যাইবে what do you think it's like we know a few bad places to eat I'm sure we all know but sometimes when we're looking around we're thinking আর তো কোনো জায়গা ওপেন নাই অনেক এটা করা যায় oh well let's take a risk maybe some of us might find it funny and just say oh let's take a risk but some of us like I'm going to go back to childhood. When we were children, I had a lead paint-lined cot, and I'm still here. I used to go and play. I didn't have Xboxes, PlayStations, or anything like that. I used to go climb trees, broke my arm, grazed my knees and elbows. I used to go play in a junkyard, and I'm still alive. And I don't remember having any tetanus injections for that either. So, the millennials, there's another question that we could ask. Are the millennials, are they too soft? Because, like I said, I was and say, oh, I'm really enjoying this lollipop. And then, oops, and I cough and it falls on the floor. Look left and right, pick it up, wipe it on your pants, resume. And I'm still here. But you see, the thing is, there are so many, yeah, what is the connection? Are people becoming soft? Or, what is it? I mean, there are so many factors on that. You've got to look at resilient strains of bacteria, antibiotic-resistant bacteria and viruses, the hoka flu, flu we never needed antibiotics. Therefore, because there were so many strains of flu and then mutated strains of flu, we had to take antibiotics. Now, after all the antibiotics, they're hesitant because they want to reserve it only up until when they absolutely need it. And the same is with food, because we're so commercialized. And most of our food is actually factory made. Because we had our local butchers.
All processed now.
Yeah.
It's all processed.
This is where the preservatives come in, you
Yes,
see.
yes.
This is where and what you're saying about your yours and mine most likely.
All
during,
of us.
during that time, yeah. A lot of things were pretty natural,
Yeah.
and this is what it was. Now, if you look, there's so many factors, as you quite rightly said. There's environmental factors. Those we're using a lot of producing food. We're using a lot of different types of chemicals.
Yeah.
So there's so many factors that are coming in. If you look at allergen side,
Yeah.
if you, just to talk about allergen, the number of people who's got allergen now. It's unbelievable. The free from sector in the supermarket is mega.
Do you remember when we were kids? Do you remember anyone saying, "Oh, I'm celiac"? Do you no offense, guys. If you guys are suffering from it, you know, I understand and I respect and I do feel for you. But to be honest with you, when we were kids, I'm erehhunchoni because it was almost non-existent because everything, literally, I'm bread, I'm hygiene. I mean. I was born and raised in the South, so in the South, you know, they had mother's pride. Do you remember those bread? I don't think ibazut asil mono kita
Milky
you know,
bread. Milky.
milky bread was asil, but back in those times, I think it was mother's.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Ibazut kita Warburtons. You know, on this side, in a Bolton, we used to in the northwest Warburtons, etc., etc. So all that was. From the field to the, is it called pylon or silos? Wherever they store the wheat, and then from there into the truck, into the mills, from the flour bread. Nowadays, you know, like we're getting wheat from God knows where. And then, you know, in order to preserve it, there's chemicals, etc., etc. So many times it gets processed.
And the amount of colouring in the food. A lot of children have allergies is due because of the colouring.
The E numbers.
Yeah.
I'm dark because of food. Let's blame that. You know, let's blame my darkness, my dark pigmentation of my skin, food colouring. But no, jokes aside, you know, like because you know, like it's a huge topic. You know, it's very difficult to actually, you know, sort of finish it off in one go. I would, however, you know, like because we're coming close to the end of our program. I would request that you actually mention a few bits and bobs about the new things that are coming in.
I will actually, yeah. So, as I said, the Relating Our Future is targeted for 2020. The FSA, which is the Food Standard Agency, they've been working since 2017. Actually, this morning, a new piece of paper was released from them. It's just giving us an update where they are moving. So one of the first part is about the enhanced registration system, which is going to be all online at the minute now. So this is where we're going to start filtering and putting people in different, the food businesses into different categories. And then we'll do a segmentation from that side. So that part will come after the registration. So what I do urge people, I know it's early days, and I just want to say it's just a wake-up call, just to make sure that, because I just want to just go back to one thing when I said about the Safer Food, Better Business, where that was introduced in 2006. It's 16 years, is it? Or 18 years now, isn't it? Something of that nature.
12 years.
12 years now.
Yeah, wow.
Now, it's 12 years, and that's one of the simplest, that's one of the simplest food safety management systems we've got. It ever existed, and it's still going to exist. We've got part 1, part 2. Part 2 is, I think, it's just a tick box exercise, but please do not make that into a tick box exercise. Make sure you ensure you record whatever is required. But just going back to what I was saying, that we need to segment it in terms of getting the registration correct, so we're in the right category. And then you'll get, I mean, there's going to be some funding from, hopefully, from the FSA, and that will be filtered down to the local authorities. And hopefully, depending on your authority, how good they are, hopefully they'll use like trade associations and other organizations to get the information out. But saying that, and I come from a Bangladeshi background, I'm always going to be a Bangladeshi regardless, and as I said, and I'll say myself, I am sometimes laid back as well when it comes to laws and legislation. So if it's taken from 2006 to 2018 to understand the first part of my Safer Food, Better Business pack, because I'm going to put a figure on it. more than 85% of the people I've spoken to, they still are finding it extremely difficult to understand the first part. Now, going back to your training, if one could read everything within the pack of the, I call it the A side, where the management side is, if one could identify everything in there, because there's so much depth information in there, I can tell you that, right, even on air now, you won't even need any training. You won't even need a trainer, because that's what the law says. Law does not say you've got to have a level 2, does not say you've got level 3. It does not say that. If you read the law, it's quite clear what it says. It does say depending on what level of food you do. Yes, we are dealing with high-risk food. It's absolutely, it's not an issue with that. But whatever you said on that side, because you've got to have that, because that is the law. That is law, you've got to have that book. If you can just read whatever's there, I can assure you that you won't even need any training. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. So do try to, please, sometimes at least once a week, just go over it, because when we get inspectors in, or when we do an audit for third parties or other organizations, we will start asking questions, and I see people got plastered with certificates of level 2, regardless of where they're coming from, they are still valid certificates, and you start asking questions, about the temperature and various stuff, and people are struggling. Start calling the manager. The manager's struggling as well. Oh, can't get hold of the manager. Where's the boss? And you're struggling, and everybody, every one of us within our sector, we're all we like to call ourselves experts, because we all come from that background and we know what's really happening. So we understand, what's really happening. Do you actually know anything, or are you just trying to blab it off? Please, I'll try to say, it's difficult to fool any of the inspectors. I can really tell you that. It's going to be very difficult. And I get at that a lot of time, oh yeah, I think I got away with this. Let's not get away with this. Let's do it correctly. Let's do it correctly. All it takes is a couple of minutes, and then we can really move on with it. So going back to, again, I think I'm probably taking a lot of time. There's so much. I can talk about.
I know. What I'm going to try and do, because we're actually at the verge of actually being pulled off air, and I can see the operator giving me evils, and he's nodding as well. Yes, he's confirming that he's giving me evils. I'm just going to quickly read out just a couple of comments and acknowledge a couple of guys. Jackson Miah is saying, fantastic topic on health and safety, but many business owners and workers will play a blind eye, etc., etc. You're absolutely right, but with the new legislation coming in next year, that's going to be difficult, because you either fit in a particular category or you're not in it. So you can't legally be able to trade. So it's a real difficult one. Samsul Islam is watching from all the way from East London. Assalamu alaikum, Samsul. We've got Mizan. He's given us a big thumb up. Anyway, we've got Joy Islam is watching. Also another partner in crime. He's my partner in tune. We've got Abdul Latif from Rochdale is watching as well. Assalamu alaikum, Latif. You all right? Joy Islam is saying, salam everyone, good program. Thank you very much, sir. Just to sort of just try and tie it all off. I know topic manche training gya asta din training huido nani basic training faite side ghonta minimum dorkar 3.5 থেকে 4 ঘন্টার দরকার. And as the further you move on to gain that knowledge, it takes more hours. আর আমরা তো সামান্য 1 ঘন্টার প্রোগ্রামের সব কিছু কভার করাই impossible. আমি অতটুকু হইমু দর্শকবৃন্দ, আমরা লতিফ ভাইয়ের টেলিফোন নাম্বার আমি কমেন্টসের মধ্যে দিমুনে, যদি আপনারা বিস্তারিত আলাপ করতে চান বা আরো কিছু জানতে চান, you are right with that, aren't you? আমি থানে না আজকে আমি ভলান্টারি আমি থানে নাম অ্যাড্রেস ঠিকানা অলরেডি লাইলাম. You sure you're okay with
absolutely
that?
fine.
আমি থানের ফোন নাম্বার দিমুনে, আপনারা যদি বিস্তারিত জানতে চান না ইউ পারবা থানের লগে যোগাযোগ কই দিয়া. Rosie, would you like to say anything about the topic in general today? Just to sort of close off, and then we'll talk about our future projects.
Alhamdulillah, it was a great talk, and Latif Bhai mentioned a lot of things that he needs to mention and highlight a lot of issues and what needs to be done, and I'm sure all the viewers out there, they learned something, and and take it on board. And I also learned something as well in Latif. And
Well,
yeah.
you're doing all right with multiple chopping boards and different knives.
Yeah.
You know, I'm rubbish at that. You know, I'm
Yeah.
chopping the, you know, and then wash the board, wash the thingy, and then I'm
Yeah.
chopping the veggie, wash, and then reset, doing the salad, board. I mean,
The chopping
I only
board-
got one board.
That set of method was basic for my children to adapt. So, and my nephew and nieces, they all adapt it as well. So it's a good way of showing them so they also keep
It's
on
like
track.
a life habit, building life
building
habit.
their slowly their self-esteem and be confident when it comes to hygiene, and they'll never forget that. But
Fantastic.
And I will always make sure they have 2 chopping boards.
Yeah. I mean, I tend to do the same as well, you know, like, okay, I don't do a whole lot of cooking, I
Yeah.
must admit. But when I do, you know, I used to involve, when the kids were a bit younger, I used to involve them and, you know, like tell stories about fruits and veggies and, you know, like sort of, it's like involving nutrition, how to mix nutrition to give your body what it needs, the fuel, and, you know, the chicken, meat and fish, why we need to eat it, how it benefits us, and what kind of balance we're looking at, you know, how much protein, carbs, and what kind of fats we need, what kind of fibers we need, why we need them. And when you incorporate these things as fun, you know, the kids tend to sort of, it's like us, you know, like doing nursery rhymes, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so thank you, Rosie.
And also, people have criticized me saying, "Oh, 2 loads of washing up." I said it doesn't bother me.
I'd rather be safe.
Yeah, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So yeah,
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you.
So viewers, Afnara Dekhra, Sa and Ta with Sam, and that's me, Sam. But sadly, we haven't got any Sa or Ta. But even though, you know, some of my previous guests have pointed it out, we will get there. We are discussing in the office to get a coffee machine and, you know, like try and get some plastic cups, if not original, you know, proper mugs or cups. But, you know, like it'll happen eventually. If you guys want to sponsor some paper cups, by all means, please come forward. Because, you know, my bag ni, you know, all right, I say, I'm no problem. So just to sort of let you, just to sort of give you an insight about, you know, some future programs. Rosie Choudhury, she'll be, you know, like co-hosting some of the programs, the upcoming programs. আমরা মানে ইরাদা করছি যে আমরা মেন্টাল হেলথ ইস্যু আর আমরা মানে সাউথ এশিয়ান মানুষের মাঝে যে কমন বেমারগুলো আছে, ফর এক্সাম্পল ডায়াবেটিস, হাই কোলেস্টেরল, blood pressure. Am I missing anything else out? Oh, yeah, strokes, also heart and lung respiratory problems. We're going to try and get a specialist, preferably a doctor with us. Yeah. I'm going to try and, you know, like butter him up with something. I haven't figured that one out yet, but it's going to happen. And as you guys already know, you know, like we're all doing it on a voluntary basis, and we're trying to bring information to the masses. And platform যখন আছে, PV Propash Bangla TV আমরা platform দিছে, use it. And if anyone out there has a talent, whether it's, you know, like nice clean comedy, nice clean sketches, or someone has an idea for a program you want to do, come and talk to us. Come and talk to us and pitch your idea. If it's a good idea, you can have your own little show. And I think that's about it. Aske liga onekta satailisi amda. Gusha hoira narawa. Ar judi mane bule judi mane, if I offend anyone, that wasn't my intention. It's all for the name of our good laugh. And hopefully, you know, like afnar asker অনুষ্ঠানে কিছুটা আপনারা জ্ঞান বাড়ছে, যে জিনিসের সম্বন্ধে আপনারা জানছেন না কিছুটা জানছেন, আর বিস্তারিতভাবে আপনারা মানে জানতে পারবা লতিফ ভাইয়ের কাছ থেকে. I'll put the number on in the comments. So thank you very much everyone for joining. I can see, you know, loads of likes and loads of shares. Thank you very much, guys. I know who you are. Amar manushke ami jandam, you know, and see you very soon. And hopefully, I think Sa and Ta will be back in 2 weeks' time. And keep it locked on PVTV. And from my guests, Rosie Choudhury on my left and Latif Miah on my right. And me, Jasam, have a good evening, good night, assalamu alaikum, adab.
Shubharatri.
সোনার বাংলা কনসার্ট 2018 30 অক্টোবর মঙ্গলবার। সঙ্গীত পরিবেশন করবেন বাংলাদেশের জনপ্রিয় কণ্ঠশিল্পী সালমা। স্থান ইস্টার্ন প্যাভিলিয়ন, ওলহাম। সময় রাত 11টায়। টিকিট বুকিং চলছে।
ওলথাম ইস্টার্ন প্যাভিলিয়ন সোনার বাংলা কনসার্টে আমি সালমা সবাইকে আনন্দ দিতে চলে আসতেছি। আপনারা সবাই আসবেন কিন্তু।
টিকিট বুকিং চলছে।
সূর্য গেলে চন্দ্র আসে অন্ধকারে।
আপনি কি নতুন ঘরে উঠছেন অথবা পুরনো ঘরে নতুন কার্পেট, ল্যামিনেট অথবা উডেন ফ্লোর লাগাতে চান? তাহলে বাঙালি অধ্যুষিত এলাকা ওয়েস্টউডের ফ্লোরস ডাইরেক্টে চলে আসুন। আমাদের এখানে সব ধরনের কার্পেট, রাগস, ম্যাটস, রোল্যান্ড সহ যাবতীয় অ্যাক্সেসরিজ সুলভে পেতে পারেন। ফ্লোরস ডাইরেক্ট, 295 Featherstone Road North, Oldham, OL 1, 2 and Hay. ফোন করুন 0161 624 3724।